Why, hello there, nice to hear. I hope you're having a better day or seeing a better day than this box. This thing came a little bit damaged. Though it is just the outer box, no big deal. This is the first knife I've ever gotten from this company, and they just recently dropped this one. If you've been paying attention to this or any other knife channel, you may have seen one of these. Or heard about these. Wixco is the more budget-oriented brand of Pharaoh Monster, and everybody has been pushing them. They have. Let's be honest. They've been talking about their new drops recently. Quite a few channels have. Well, I decided to check it out. I got this when it dropped. I did not get this for free. I bought this with my own money. I may check out more from Wixco or Pharaoh Monster in the future. Don't know. There is one or two models from Pharaoh Monster that I do think looks interesting, including the one that just dropped that's more premium, but you know what? My funds aren't unlimited. So, let's get in there. That is an interesting case. I like that. Actually, that feels really nice, too. It's got like a different texture to it than most cases. I like that a lot. I don't know if I need the giant Wixco patch attached to the front, but I do like the case quite a bit. Let's see what it... Yeah, it looks just fine. Let's just leave that there. Let's just leave that there, because it looks fine. Yeah. Fine. Let's get in here. This is the Jugger. This, as I said, is their... What do you get with it? You get cloth, that, and, you know, your desiccant. Alright, let's check out this knife. We'll pop her open real fast. Yep. Pretty wicked shape. Definitely a pretty wicked shape. Decent detent, too. Like, for a button lock, which this is. Pretty... Got just a tiny bit of grab, but I kind of like that with a button lock. It usually means it's a little stronger. It's not stick or anything. But you can kind of hear just a little bit of grab. I like that with a button lock, especially on the budget end. Because it usually means they're at least going to hold a little bit better. Like it won't, you know, pop and close on you. Pretty dog. Wicked shape. Blade. I like the heavy sort of satin on this thing. Kind of nice looking. Carbon fiber handles. Very nice carbon color. Like the look of this carbon fiber is really good. I am a little concerned because this is, you know, like a shred sort of carbon fiber, and it's one of the types that seems to be prone to void, so I'm going to look over that real close in just a second. But first impressions, it's big, it's comfortable. In fact, how big is it? 3 7/8. So we're talking like 3.9 inches of blade. Actually, that's a lot of blade. That doesn't feel like... It is under 8 3/4 overall. That's actually a lot of blade put in the handle. Yeah, you are at 4 3/4 of handle for over for nearly 4 inches of blade. That's actually a pretty good ratio. A lot of times you see like 3.5 to 4.5. This is almost 4 to just a little bit over 4, which is, or yeah, 4 and I said what? No, 4 3/4. Did I say 4 3/4? So yeah, it's a little bit pretty decent ratio, I think. I don't know what I'm saying. Who knows? I do like the looks of it. There are a few things that are interesting. How's the centering? It almost looks... Does it look all centered? It does. But it doesn't there. In fact, when I'm looking purely at the tip... Oh, I hit the camera. When I look... Stop moving. Purely at the tip... The tip does not look off-center. So, oh yeah, I can see what's doing it. The swedge is a little bit different on one side, and if you actually look, the blade is ground slightly different at the tip, or this side's deeper on the edge, on the cutting bevel than this side, and it's ground a little different, giving it more of a look. So I think it's an optical illusion. I think the tip itself is center, but the blade gives the sort of the impression that it might not be. No play whatsoever. Can I put a little bit of torque on that? Maybe just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, it feels arguably even better. And it wasn't had play before, but okay, yeah. It's shitting little tiny. Stop it in the camera! It's shitting little flecks of white. I don't know what that is in there, but just a little bit of. Yeah, you can kind of see them in there. Little flecks of packaging or something. Down in there. Pocket clip is reversible, very nice. It has a continuous rise. I actually really like this pocket clip, and comfort in the hand is very much, yeah, it's very comfortable actually. Like, it looks a little bit strange, it looks almost prescriptive, but it's kind of not. Pretty comfortable. How about the, yeah, push grip is good too. Pocket clip, I mean, is almost completely disappearing. An advantage of being big, right? You get the back end of, oh my god. Today I'm hitting the thing. I don't know about the yellowish green thumb studs on here, considering this back end is, you know, blue and the handle. I don't quite get that, but some of the other variants were like yellow and red carbon fiber with like pink and yeah, I'm not too fond of some of their accent points. Is that titanium? That's steel. I mean, it's got to be titanium or aluminum. The fact that these aren't makes me think they're probably titanium. The backspacer, I don't know. Don't know. It's, for the size of a knife that it is, it feels pretty light. We, of course, when I do the actual review, we'll get into that in more depth. The edge, not bitey. Like, it's slick and it's not threatening to bite me as long as I don't push into it. But it does feel quite sharp. Like, it feels like it's got a good edge there. Reasonably thin behind the edge, though it does get a little bit thick fast, which is a little bit odd. Well, I mean, not for up here, but it feels a little thick faster than I would think it would be. Maybe they could have went a little deeper on that grind, but jimping, tip access. I mean, the recurve and shape of the blade, I'm sure, is going to be a turn-off for some people, but I like it. I really like the look of this thing, and I like the larger size, and the fact that it's not, I mean, it's about as light as I think it probably can get. There is a steel liner on both sides, and you have a decent chunk of metal there, so it's pretty light for what it is. This carbon fiber, not a huge fan of that. There's definitely voids. There doesn't seem to be a little bit right there. On the flats, they've actually done a really good job of getting rid of the voids here. Yeah, this is like one of the first shred carbon fibers that I can say doesn't seem to have any particular... That is not a void, by the way. That just is a dark spot right there. On the flats, it has none, but on the finishing, on the edges, you can see a handful. Not the best, not the worst. It is carbon fiber. That does come with the territory. I don't particularly like a lot of shred carbon fibers for that reason, but I mean, it's not got anything major on, like, noticeable on the flats, or even the first chamfer, really, for the most part, except for right there. So that's pretty nice. Good action. Smooth. That's odd. What the? Okay, it just locked itself up. Why is it? Whoa. Why was it so hard to reverse lick? Dog. That's weird. I was reverse licking it no problem, and it just, one time, it just locked itself the heck out. Odd. Not the end of the world, and it doesn't seem to be doing it now, so I'll keep you updated on what the heck that is. But the thing I'm most interested about here is whether this thing's actually worth the money. This is not a budget knife. This knife is over $100. In fact, the initial drop got a code for reduction cost, but I think it's like $120. It is also N690. Yes, it's carbon fiber, but I'm not 100% sure the price point is on point, right? It also needs a much better plunge grind. The plunge is basically hitting the edge. So I'm going to sit with this and think on it. Leave your thoughts, but I mean, I've seen a lot of people mentioning and talking about these and pushing these things dropping, but is this like recommendable at this price point with N690 blade steel and what appears to be a slight little bit of marking on the pivot out of the box? I don't know. I also don't know why that W logo is not centered on that pivot. That's weird. I mean, it doesn't feel bad, but I am a little confused as to why I keep getting more of this grain out of the freaking pivot somewhere. Like, it's nice, it feels good, it feels like a solid design, something that some people won't like because of size and just, well, shape and everything. I particularly like it, but I don't know. That price kind of hurting with this blade steel. Even if they had just given us something like 154 cm at $115, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can totally say this. But N690 kind of, I don't know. How does that compare to for steels at this price point? I'm not entirely sure. I don't have enough experience with it. But leave your thoughts down below. I will do my review and everything like that. This is taking too long, but I thank you if you checked it out. And hopefully I'll see you again. Drop a like, subscribe, help out a small channel. You know the drill, right? I'll say it every time because you kind of have to, but do what you want. Hopefully you'll come back to see more, and have a great day. See ya.